What's up, folks? KD Bowe here. I'm going to tell you a story, and it's going to seem like it's going all over the place, but I'm going to eventually end up on 2 points. You're going to be like, whoa, that was pretty good. Or at least that's what I hope. That's what I envision. I told my son to clean up his room, 15 years old. My wife's out of town, and you know what? You need to clean up your room. We need to really just clean up the house so when she comes back, she'll be surprised. And my heroes, that's the way guys think. I think anyway. And so, he goes in the room, does his version of cleaning up the room, his 15-year-old version of cleaning up the room. And I go in there and I notice that it's still a disaster area. Only just the disaster has been moved out of sight. Go on the side of his bed, piles of clothes and stuff, and open up stuff and see, trash. And I said, hey, man, listen, here's the thing. You got to clean it up. You got to clean it up right. And until you clean it up the way I want you to clean it up, then, whatever privileges you have, they're on pause for a minute. So he begins to huff and puff and do a little extra, And that may work for his mom. And a sidebar. Kids need both parents. They need both parents because we parent differently. One set of parenting is not right and the other's not wrong. Moms love their sons, but they raise their daughters. Fathers love their daughters, but they raise their sons. It doesn't mean that fathers don't love their sons, moms don't love their daughters. It just means that we parent from our perspective, okay? Moms just don't want their daughters pregnant. And so I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens. Fathers just don't want their kids to be sorry or trifling. How about that? Okay, so we parent from those perspectives. That's why you need both. Okay, and so sometimes my wife will let things slide, and I just wasn't. So he's huffing, and got a little extra on his tone. That if you're talking to me, now I'm gonna need you to put some lotion on your tone because it's too coarse, too rough. Pull it up, and so so he just I guess he's like, well, at this point, you know what? I don't want to clean up my room. I want to do what I want to do, and so I'm watching him, and I'm thinking about my parents and the things that I was instilled. And for me, I'm like, oh, so if you're going to step to me like a king, then apparently you prepared to go to your own castle. Because everybody knows every king got his own castle. So if you're going to be in my castle, because I'm the king here, then you're going to have to act like a prince or a princess. This is my daughter, princess. Every king got to have his own castle. And so, either you're going to have your own castle, be able to go somewhere, do what you want to do, don't clean up your room or not, or you're going to get into a prince's place and chill. And so, but as I'm talking to him and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, he's doing a little extra. I guess I just need to, have a display of aggression. I need to let him know, first of all, I'm the dad. I'm the big honcho in here. You're going to do what I want you to do. Still small voice said, chill. So I say, hey, man, listen. Is what you're going to do. Clean up the room, and then I'm going to come back and check, and then we'll make sure. And then after that's done, it's Thursday night. We'll go somewhere, we'll watch the Thursday night football, and it's all good. Now I'm walking out, kind of frustrated with myself, a little bit with God, I ain't going to lie. And I'm like, well, why in the world would I handle it like that? I would handle it a different way. And so when I get outside and I'm doing my own stuff, I heard that same still small voice say, he is a 15-year-old boy that has a rush and a surge of testosterone that you being 45 years old, you know exactly what to do with it. You know how to pull up, you know how to chill, and all of that. He doesn't. So he don't know how to fix his face just yet. His prefrontal cortex isn't already developed. He's not making wise decisions. When he looks in your face, he does not see or recognize danger. Because there was danger. He said, so you got to give him some grace. And it just, I don't know, family, just hit me. It hit me. And here's the first point I want to give you. The first point is this. If you're looking if you think success is getting 100% of what you want every time, then you're going to be disappointed a whole lot in your life. So with my son, I wanted him to do exactly what I wanted him to do, say it exactly how I wanted him to say it, and act exactly the way I wanted him to act. But the truth is, he just wasn't going to do that. He was giving me a good 70% of what I wanted, but I wanted all 100%. It's unrealistic. Listen, On your job, you're not going to get 100%. In your marriage, you're not going to get 100%. And certainly, as parenting children, you're not going to get 100%. So you got to learn how to play the percentages. Find out what percentage you know is going to work for you and stick with it and be okay, because you're not going to get 100%. So after I did that, I was able to handle it a little differently. I had a little bit of grace. And here's the second point I want to give you. If you are one of those parents and the only time you can get your kids to do what you want them to do is by showing an aggressive force or putting your hands on them, I'm going to suggest something. And I'm not trying to come at you. I'm going to suggest this. You ready? That's poor parenting. Because you should be able to, with a look, with words, to be able to get your children to do what you want them to do, what you need them to do, without physically putting your hands on them and making them do it. That's easy parenting. That's low-hanging parenting. For many of us, that's the way our parents did us. And, they didn't really think about talking or not even necessarily negotiating, but understanding our point of view and listening to us. They just said, do what I tell you to do, period. And so that's why a lot of us went out and went wild, because life isn't going to always make you do what it wants you to do. You got to have some pull-up in you. And so I was talking to my son, and I was able to instill within him some pull-up. Hey, man, I want you to understand, because when you get out here with law enforcement, unfortunately, they're not going to have the same grace and the love for you that I have, okay? They're going to make you be still. They're going to make you be quiet. They're going to make you comply. But unfortunately, it may be something that's going to cause your mom and I to have some severe pain and crying and tears because you're no longer here. So, in closing, two things. Number one, play the percentages. Understand you're not going to get 100% most of the time. You're not going to get it. Understand what percentage it is that you're going to be okay with living with, and then be okay with that. And then number two, don't do poor parenting. Poor parenting is when you got to put your hands on your kids to make them do what you want them to do every time, because it don't always work like that. And that's not going to work out in your favor. All right? So, the end of the story, I said, you know what? We're going to leave, we're going to go out of town, we're going to go to the Carolina Panthers game, and we went. Man, we had an amazing time. I had an opportunity to bond with my son. The ladies was flirting with him and everything. I'm like, whoa, what is this right here? So I had to be prepared for that. But at the end of the day, I want to say this to all parents, men and women alike, that you have to be effective. It's not just the fact that you did it or you parented. You gotta do effective parenting. Okay, and that means that you got to constantly work on you to make sure that you can listen, that you have patience, and all that good stuff. All right, to my brothers, you want to be a part of ManUP community? I want you to be. Text the word brothers to 54244. All right, brothers to 54244. Love you, man, and sis that's peeking in. Man up.